Hey everyone, it's the Shnakey back again with another video on a very exciting day today, because this video will be going out on the same day that the fight is set to happen. Of course, Tyson Fury facing off against Deontay Wilder in their hotly contested rematch, which I think is going to be a fireworks type of fight. I'm really looking forward to it. I have a busy evening ahead of me. I'm just about to head out soon to go and watch some boxing in my local area. There's a competition on there, sort of a boxing competition. We've got some local fighters fighting against some international guys. So I'm heading down to that. Probably going to have a few beverages of the alcoholic persuasion. You know what I'm fucking talking about. And then I'm probably going to head out into town for a while and then try and run the gauntlet to stay awake for the Fury fight, which I will hopefully manage to do. 3 or 4 o'clock, more than likely, it's going to be on over here in Ireland. There's a massive time delay, which always bums me out when fights are taking place in America, because okay, the atmosphere is amazing and the venues are brilliant, the judging not so good, but you know what I mean. But overall, I'm a lot more excited only about fights happening in the UK, because they're happening at 10 or 11 o'clock and they're a lot more reasonable, and they're easier to stay up for basically. And after I've had a few drinks tonight, more than likely I may not be able to sustain myself and stay awake, but I'll have a few guys here with me to do that, so hopefully it'll all go smoothly. So I have 2 created fighters here. My Tyson Fury, which is based, both of these characters are based off face scans that were already on the Boxer Share facility on Fight Night Champion, which, as a lot of you will know, you can no longer upload game faces to that, because the older version of game face that was used for previous generation games like Fight Night Champion has been discontinued, and now you've only got the one for UFC. So we've got Deontay Wilder coming out here, but both of these faces I've heavily modified myself. I've changed things with them, and also the characters themselves, the way they look, hairstyles, and also their physiques and AI tendencies, as well as their abilities in the game as well. I think these are both coming in at around 89 rated. I think Fury might be 90. I should have taken note of that at the start of the video. Well, there's Tyson Fury. So here we go. Now, a bit of a disclaimer before we start this commentary. This is not going to be a kind of super accurate fight. You're not going to see Fury's going to be damaging Wilder a lot here, and I can't see that happening in the fight. Fury by no means is pillow-fisted, because I think a lot of the time people write Fury off for being a very weak puncher. That is not the case at all. He's got a large number of knockouts on his record, but as his style has changed throughout his career, he's made adjustments, and with these adjustments has come the lack of knockouts. And his adjustments were, you stay away from the opponent, you use your footwork and your head movement to get out of the way of punches and to counter your opponents. But you're not going to see Fury boxing aggressively. He's very much so a much more defensively minded fighter, and I'm not really portraying that 100% here. I'm getting some bobbing and weaving going on, but overall it's not a sim fight. This isn't how I'm expecting it to play out. But I just wanted to show you the 2 created fighters and just explain to you how maybe you can get your hands on them. So what I would do is I'd go onto the Boxer Share facility on Fight Night, go in there, search for Tyson Fury, and you'll get loads of Tyson Furies. And the longer the time has gone on, more people have been editing them, so you'll get some pretty accurate ones. The one I had here was actually a face from a younger Tyson Fury from years and years ago when the game came out first. I think I downloaded it originally in like 2012, and I just found it, and I found the face was actually fairly accurate. And catch Wilder there with a straight right hand with Fury. How do I think the fight's going to pan out? I have people, a lot of my friends have been asking me this, because I've been a long time supporter and admirer of Fury's in terms of his boxing ability, and I've always said that he is the man to beat. And this goes long back, even when Emmanuel Stewart himself was saying he's going to be the next big thing. But I think Fury has his work cut out for him in this fight, more so than any fight that he's had before. Going into the Klitschko fight, I had a strong feeling that he was going to win that fight. I was confident. I'm going to say it. I was confident that he was going to win that fight. And he did. People didn't give him a chance. Then he went off the rails, climbed up to close to 30 stone, came back, fought Deontay Wilder for the first time. Wilder was fully fit. He had experience. He had no ring rust. He was an active heavyweight. And I didn't give Fury much of a chance. But Fury came in and he outboxed Wilder. This time, I'm equally as worried for Fury. Mainly because I think that Wilder has grown a lot more in recent years. Fury is a fantastic boxer, don't get me wrong, but I think he's plateaued to a certain degree. He always rises to the occasion, but I think his style now has been finessed, and I think that the combination of Peter Fury and now recently Ben Davidson, they've perfected the Fury formula, and I don't think that you're going to be able to add anything more to Fury, and I don't think that anything else needs to be added to Fury. He's not a power puncher, and as I said, he's by no means pillow-fisted either, but he definitely, his style should not be to rush in and try and take the guy out of there, because we've seen in the past he can be hurt. He's been put down by Nevin Pajek. He's been put down by Steve Cunningham. Both smaller guys. Pajek, yeah, fair enough, a heavy hitter, but Steve Cunningham, you know, a cruiserweight realistically, and I know he caught him with that overhand right that landed right in his forehead, but I just think that Fury's style, it doesn't, his size and his whole package doesn't suit coming in rushing the other guy. Now, by no means is he going to go ahead and do that with Wilder tonight or this morning in my case, but I think that he's going to try and be a little bit more aggressive, and there's two reasons he's going to do this. Because first of all, he wants to put on a bit of a show, because they are going to be selling a third fight, don't forget. And also, he wants to, I think he wants to kind of move away from this idea of him being a boring fighter, and that again playing into the third fight. But also the other reason I think is he feels like the judges are going to be against him. And let's be honest, the judges are going to be against him. No offense to any of my American viewers out there, but we have to admit, when you go to the big events in boxing in the US and you're fighting an American fighter, you are fighting the judges as well as you fighting the fighter themselves. So I think Fury is very, very aware of that, and he realizes that he needs to be flashy. He needs to be getting the judges' attention, and he needs to be landing punches on Wilder. Now, don't forget that he did that in the last fight without having to talk it all up like he did, like he's doing this time. He was successful in catching Wilder and hurting Wilder on 2 occasions from what I can remember. Not seriously hurting him, because let's be honest about it, Wilder has proven that he has a pretty solid chin himself. He's taken big punches from Bermane Stiverne. He's taken big punches from Luis Ortiz. And those guys in themselves are big punchers. They're not Anthony Joshua punchers or Deontay Wilder punchers, but they are significant punchers, and he's shown that he can take a punch. So I think Fury, the only way that I can possibly see Fury would be maybe with the technical knockout where the ref stops it, because Wilder might be in trouble or he's not defending himself. But the reality of it is, Fury just, you aren't, I've heard boxing coaches say this before, you aren't born with, you are born with power. It's not something that can be taught. So you have to keep that in mind as well for Fury. But at the same time, when you've got an 18, 19 stone man throwing punches at you, that's 6'9", well then they're gonna hurt. So we have to remember that as well. But that's my gut feeling on it. So I think Fury is going to be more aggressive, but not to the point where I'm hoping he's not going to get himself in trouble. Now, how's Wilder going to respond to this? I think Wilder this time equally he's going to have learned lessons from the previous fight, and I think the lesson that he's going to be learning this time is to fight smart. I think he's going to try and preserve himself, because even though he's a super athletic guy and he is super fit, he's going to try and just hold back for the first few rounds, gauge Fury a little bit better, stay active but not expend energy, and not windmill as much as he has been known for doing in the past. If Wilder catches him with a punch like he caught me with there while I was taunting, the fight's not going to be lasting long, because we have to remember that Deontay Wilder is a freaky puncher. I'm definitely going to go out there and say that he's probably the most devastating puncher. Look, I haven't been around on this planet that long, but I've not, I was just around for the end of the Mike Tyson era, but I haven't been around for the old school guys, and I've only watched, being a big boxing fan, I go back and I watch the fights on YouTube, or I've got DVDs at home and stuff, and I've seen punchers, we've got the likes of shuddering power like George Foreman, but at the same time, Wilder brings a different sort of punch. He brings not a concussive punch as such, not one that's going to shake you through your body. It's a punch that just puts you out. It's a stinging, hard, he's almost like he's punching through you. And with those big long arms and that lean frame and those long legs, he almost lunges into his punches if you watch him. Any punch that he throws everything at it. The amount of conviction he puts behind them. So I think also it's just how much he commits to punches. Now, he's not fought somebody yet that's made him miss and that's counterpunched him to the point of being able to put him out, knock him out himself. So I don't think Fury is going to be the guy to do that either. Fury can definitely catch you off guard and he can wobble you, but he's not going to be someone that's going to put you out and is going to make you pay in terms of knocking you out for missing a punch. So it'll be interesting to see how Wilder manages to balance that kind of easy pace at the start and then dialing it up a small bit to try and capitalise on Fury later on. Fury is prone to making mistakes. However good of a boxer he is, and he is a fantastic boxer for a man of his size, the way that he moves, and I've talked about all his traits before. He is a really gifted boxer. He's a man really that nearly is made for boxing, and also because he's so deceiving. But one problem with Fury is he tends to get complacent. It happens to him all the time. If he gets confident, he has got that complacency where he can leave his hands down, he'll start showboating. And with Deontay Wilder, you do not have that luxury to be able to do that. You have to be perfect for the full 12 rounds. It's a cliched thing to say, and I know Wilder's been spouting that himself, but in a way it's very true. There is no boxer out there at the moment with the chin good enough to withstand a clean punch from Deontay Wilder. And the punch that Fury took from Wilder last time, however impressive it was that he got up, that wasn't Wilder's full power for two reasons. It was the 12th round. He was tired. He wasn't firing on full cylinders. And also, I don't think it connected as cleanly. Fury was already going down with that punch. He definitely hit him hard, and it's still an amazing sporting moment, and you can take nothing away from Fury. But I think if Wilder catches him mid-fight with a proper full-force punch, I think that however good Fury's chin is, and it is very good, I just can't see him getting up from it. So what's my, I suppose, final conclusions on the whole thing? I've been rambling a lot about this fight here. My heart tells me I want Fury to win, and I think there's a very good chance that Fury could win the fight. It is a 50-50 fight, and you would not think that I would be saying that with a guy like Wilder who lacks such boxing fundamentals and who really, he isn't a boxer in the traditional terms. He's an athlete, and he has a big punch, and even though he has improved, his boxing fundamentals have improved greatly. He took up the sport very late. You can only admire him for that. Fury is definitely the better boxer out of the two, and that's what's going in Fury's favour. Likewise, Fury's unpredictable nature, nice punch there, Fury's unpredictable nature and his ability to sometimes slacken off or leave himself exposed for a second. If Wilder capitalises on this, and if Wilder sees an opening like he did with Ortiz, he is going to take that opening and he's going to put Fury away. So even though my heart is telling me Fury, and my gut has always told me Fury in every fight that I've watched, but I feel this time it could be too far for Fury, and I think that Wilder may have the upper chance. I seem to be getting a Facebook call here. Mr. Popular, I'll be back in a second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I have to take that super important Facebook call. I want to conclude my video by saying this. It's going to be the toughest fight of Fury's career, and it's going to be the toughest fight of Wilder's career. It's tougher for Fury than the Klitschko fight and the first Wilder fight, and it's definitely tougher for Wilder than the first Fury fight, because Fury has become fitter. He's in a better state of mind, I believe, than he was before. And for Wilder has had the opportunity to fight Fury once already, and he's going to have learned a lot from that. My prediction for the fight, it's a 50-50. I would not be surprised if it goes the distance. This could be another draw again. So I'm not going to be able to call a winner for this fight. As I said, my heart is telling me Fury. My gut maybe is telling me Wilder. That's been the video, guys. I hope